Tonight, no job cuts in BLUESCOPE's latest financial announcement. 2 fishermen stranded for 12 hours off Port KEMBLA. And the long-awaited review into school funding finally made public. Good evening, I'm Karen Johnston.
I'm Jeff Phillips. Also tonight, a teenager killed in what's thought to be a hit and run. And
a locally run trial for a cancer treatment drug in jeopardy.
BLUESCOPE Steel says there will be no major job cuts despite the company announcing a net loss after tax of more than $500 million. The steel giant used today's half-yearly financial announcement to say it's now on track to return to profitability following last year's decision to exit the export market and cut 1,000 jobs nationwide.
6 months after one of the biggest cutbacks in the steelworks history, CEO Paul O'Malley announced another loss.
We reported a net loss after tax of $530 million. That includes a significant restructuring and redundancy cost.
The restructuring costs alone are worth $260 million and are linked to the shutdown of the No. 6 blast furnace at Port KEMBLA in October and the company's decision to exit the export market and halve production in Australia. $46 million has also been used from the government's steel transformation plan for redundancies. Despite the losses, CEO Paul O'Malley says Australia's largest steelmaker is on track to return to profitability in the future, thanks largely to growth in Asian markets.
If we were still 100% flat out in exports, our results in the half would have been around $150 million worse. So the restructure was the right thing to do. We're not in profit yet, but we are heading in that direction.
This time last year, the company recorded a loss worth $55 million before going on to axe 1,000 jobs in August. There were no major job cuts forecast at today's announcement. O'Malley told reporters that if there were to be any changes to the business in the near future, staff will be relocated to other departments rather than retrenched. The Steelworkers Union is pleased with today's results.
Certainly it's nowhere near as bad as last year's, and it means that all the heartbreak and hard work they've been putting in is starting to pay off, so it's good.
Weak sales and higher costs in the Australian market led to an earnings loss of $182 million in the coated and industrial products segment. O'Malley says the company is still facing stiff opposition on major infrastructure projects from cheap overseas competitors, but won't agree with calls for the federal government to mandate Australian-made products for mining projects.
It would save thousands and millions of dollars for the company, which would then flow onto our people. It's what's needed to save the industry.
Local research agency Iris says today's announcement won't change local business confidence in the Illawarra, despite BLUESCOPE's forecast to slightly lower losses in the second half of 2012.
Certainly we need confidence in this region, so it is another shock we're going to have to get over.
Paul Glover, Win News.